Welcome to Arts Beyond Museums. I'm Khan and I'm your curator for this series. Now today Art Beyond Museums brings us to the Duxton Hill area. Now this place, it has a very colourful past. Behind me, all these shop houses in the past, some of them used to be opium and gambling dens, and some of them even used to be cheap hotels. Now, but it's also in this Duxton Hill place that some of the wealthiest straight Chinese built all these luxurious shop houses. And I can imagine in those shop houses that they have Master Yun's feng shui paintings. Can you see how the image will mesh together? And actually in your place, even today, you should have a piece of Master Yun's art, be it the feng shui calligraphy or the feng shui painting as well, because having Master Yun's art in your place simply makes the entire place definitely more prosperous and even brighter as well, like the one next to me. Now this is one of Master Yun's calligraphy. We already know how luxurious it is, that we have gone through in many different episodes. Now this here, two words, is called Long He, or in direct translation, dragon and crane. Now other than it being having a lot of gold, the real materials and how luxurious it is, when you have Master Yun's feng shui painting or calligraphy and your house, it is also culturally enriching. Just look at this word. We know that this word is dragon. Here it reads Di, that means it's the emperor dragon. So when you have something like this and you stare at it long enough every single day, you might learn something new about our own culture as well. Now today, Duxton Hill is no less colourful than before. So if you walk around this area, after your work, you should come and check out what this place, this Duxton Hill area, has to offer. The little gems, the little surprises. Let's find out. So this gem at Duxton Hill is Ju Hua Tai at 9 Duxton Hill. Now this place is truly a place that what we call tradition meets modern. So if you've been to Beijing before, you have that hutongs feel, those little alleys. Now I spent several years in Beijing, so once I step in this place, I have a certain feeling that's been invoked, as if I'm back to my college and university days where we will hunt for all the small little hutongs, all the exciting bars, all the places that no one knows, and you have a great time there. This is the place. You get the same feeling when you're here. Now this Ju Hua Tai place, even though it's established in July 2021, already it has been highlighted by Time Out as one of the top 5 places to check out. But before we go any further, for friends who are new with us, and if you're wondering who is this painter we keep on talking about, who is Master Yun, who is Master Yun Longzi? This is Master Yun. Master Yun is a 6th generation feng shui master in the family, and in 2006, Master Yun established Lotus on Water. Now, by now, I'm sure with so many episodes, you know that Master Yun is the only artist who have exhibited on the Great Wall of China. That is why I kept emphasizing that if you want to have a painting at home, why not choose Master Yun's painting? Because they will simply add prosperity and add glory to your entire house. Since you're at Ju Hua Tai, as if we are going back in time a little bit, here I have with me something a bit more back in time. This is one of the earlier paintings. It's PPK 3086. The name is called Burst of Happiness. Not cranes, but peacocks. Now, I don't have to describe further. You can see the gold and silver, but the exciting thing about this one is really about the happiness. How the peacock actually spreads its feathers, how the feathers grow up to be, a bit like the flower that's bursting like fireworks. What I see here that has connection to this entire backdrop at the back, as if the peacock over here, fireworks going up, and when they go up, they form a flower, and then by the time they come down, it looks a bit like the chrysanthemum at the back. How traditional meets modern, you can find it in Master Yun's painting, and of course here at Ju Hua Tai. Just can't wait to try their special cocktails. Let's go check it out. Okay, I have with me BK here. He's the general manager, and also, as you've seen us now, he's the main guy behind the bar counter doing all those wonderful cocktails. Thank you, BK.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been in the bar for about 8 years.
But only in this year, 2021 July, then you and several partners started this Ju Hua Tai.
Correct.
And already is the, as Taima had said, top 5 places, top 5 new places to really go and check out. So I think it's really something that's wonderful. So we have 4 cocktails with us. There are some, I understand, it's always on the menu.
Correct.
Some are seasonal in a sense. So which are the ones that might always be on the menu?
The one that always be on the menu is actually our signature, which is this one, the Chrysanthemum Secret.
Okay.
Essentially, it's,
I like that glass a lot.
It's made out of 135 Hyogo gin from Japan. We infused with young chrysanthemum buds, and we did lychee and raspberry infused as well.
Right.
Then we add in a bit of elderflower to bring out the floral notes.
So this is always on the menu.
Correct. And lastly, we charge with CO2 to make it fizzy.
It's very pretty.
Alright.
So it's and you mentioned that the CO2. Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we just do this.
Yeah. Let's go ahead, drink it. We have a lot of people that actually came here just for this.
Just
because
for
one
this.
thing, it looks nice.
It looks
because
very
of
good. Yeah, because once
jelly.
you open, it's a surprise, you know.
Correct.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's very pretty. I'm sure ladies would love it.
Correct.
And I taste that it's a bit sweet.
Yes.
But as you mentioned, I think it's bubbly as well.
Correct. Which is refreshing.
Mm.
Normally, I like to push something new that is always on our menu, but yet the concoction is always different. So we'll do new things once in a while.
Meaning that it might not be always there.
Correct. So
it's seasonal in a sense.
yes, correct. So it essentially means we do one batch of this, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Okay, so the concept of seasonal here is quite different. You know, when we go to Japanese restaurants, seasonal is because okay, this thing came in fresh today, so I'm going to eat it today.
Correct.
But here is different.
Correct.
It's seasonal, but it means you make a batch of it. 你酿了它一段时间
Correct.
You brew it for a while and you kept it. So this thing, after this concoction or this brew is done, this thing is off the menu.
Correct.
So which one belongs to this category?
So this is the one. It's actually, we call it the love and hate because of the very acquired taste. So previously, love and hate was, we did a octopus infused rum. So now we did something different.
Dried octopus infused rum. So it's a bit like the Chinese soup.
Correct.
With that distinct
the
octopus
very
scent.
Chinese umami, a bit salty kind of thing.
Oh, it's very interesting. I never heard of it before. So this is not the
this is
that
not
batch
the one.
has run out.
Yes, that batch is finished. So now we did something new. So essentially, there is dried keko in it.
Dried keko.
Correct. So we actually got it from a TCM in Singapore. Checked with them whether it's suitable to be done with alcohol. So yeah, they told us.
So keko has that Chinese medicine benefits.
Correct.
But here you make it into a cocktail.
Yes.
Why all this? Why go all the way to all these traditional Chinese herbs?
I mean, it's something that is very common for me because my mom used to cook a lot of Chinese medicine for me when I was young.
Yeah.
To 补这个补那个. So it kind of stuck with me for quite a while. So to kind of like bring back these old memories, but personally, that's what I do. And of course, because of like looking into more of like Chinese ingredients and everything, I tend to want to venture more out more into the whole traditional medicine stuff. So
this is also a staple.
Correct. So this is what we call the Qing Emperor, Qing Shi Huang.
Qing Shi Huang. Okay.
So I mean, as you can see, a cup is what the emperor uses when you're back in the dynasties and everything.
Yeah. And this is actually concocted by your bar manager.
Correct, Diatan. So back in 2019, he joined the Kamau Thai competition.
Oh.
So this is his competition cocktail, and he did well for it. Taste is fantastic. So basically, it's Mao Thai with his homemade glutinous rice tea cordial.
It's a Mao Thai cocktail.
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
And a bit of black walnut bitter. So you get a bit of earthy notes to it, and the kind of flavor that you really like it. And of course, if people think that it's too earthy, we made actually a pickled lotus root to go with it.
I think this is interesting, even just for posting on IG. You should come here and try this.
Yep.
This is like really fun. So what do we have the other one? This is the one with fire, is it?
Correct. This is the one that we flambe it. The whole idea comes from tequila blazer.
Okay.
So that is a classic drink where they actually burn it up because of due to wet, rainy days.
Right.
You know, the weather is cold. You want something hot.
Right.
So this is also inspired by hot toddy, a very classic cocktail as well. So as well, same goes for that. My bar manager made this. He concocted this. The name is called A Mother's Love, which is 慈母. Why? Because the idea comes from a bit like pipakao.
Okay.
So the logo always shows like a grandmother feeding a child.
The pipa
you know,
thing,
and that's what we want to kind of bring it to our tables and everything, to our guest taste buds lah.
Right.
So we infuse the Dewa's white label, the whiskey with herbal tea. Soak it up, cold infusions for about a night. So then we do a longan honey. Then we flambe it up, bring it up.
The part that when they drink, I think is simpler. But as you heard from BK, the whole procedure, all the concoction, all the brewing, and including the last few steps when you're making it, it's complex and sophisticated. Oh, thick, huh? It has that. It's quite thick, the taste. You got to try yourself. I can't describe it well enough. But I think whatever you saw just now, what BK was doing and the efforts they go through to create some special cocktail, the ones that actually employ traditional Chinese medicine and herbs and give you a new life turning a cocktail, not just soup, it's cocktail. I think it's something that's really worth you coming all the way here.
Correct.
And I understand that other than the traditional meets modern in the cocktail,
Correct.
The food as well.
Yes. So over here we have a few signatures that we do.
Okay.
So to start off with is our cold dishes, the
Right.
pan essentially.
Yes.
Mala mushroom and
Mala mushroom.
correct.
Oh my
And
God.
Sichuan cucumber. So for all of our items, most of it we create our own sauce and seasonings and everything. So
Right.
of course we don't grow our chili, then we grow
Yeah.
but we actually source our chili powder from China itself.
Yes.
We source from a lot of other
The
places.
concoction you did it
Correct.
yourself.
So everything is done by my head chefs and my sous chef. So they concoct everything, they design everything for the space. So we have a good selections for
Right.
our bao itself. Why we actually do bao is so to correlate with our own local scene itself lah. You know,
Right.
just have a sense of belonging, something that's close to us. It's a comfort food. So over here we have a scallop bao. We have
Scallop?
Correct, scallop bao.
And this is
Pork belly.
Pork belly.
Which is also a combo bao. kind of
okay.
thing.
This is a
This is soft shell crab.
soft shell crab.
Correct.
This is squid lah. Huh?
This is sotong.
Sotong. Okay.
Sambal
I like
sotong.
Yeah. And this
Beef
is
rendang.
Beef rendang.
And lastly, this is one of our main signature is our crispy chicken bao.
Crispy chicken.
So
bao.
like the sauce, we actually still correlate with the Chinese part of it, which is laokama. We make our own we use laokama and we do a laokama mayo.
Okay.
Correct. So even for the for the pork belly, it's the heavy ham. So even down to our buns, we actually get somebody to actually handmade them. And it has to be of a certain size, it has to be on a certain fluffiness. So to for the quality and everything.
9 Duxton Hill,
Correct.
Ju Hua Tai.
Yes.
Established just July 2021, but already the top 5 new places to check out in Singapore. So check out. Thank you, BK.
Thank you.
Throughout the entire afternoon at Ju Hua Tai 9 Duxton Hill, I think I really tasted a complexity and a sophistication of taste. You know, I really like how it seems familiar, but there's an entire revisitation to how our familiar tastes are, the cocktails and the food as well. I think just to top this entire evening off, of course I have with me Laurent-Perrier's champagne. Now this is La Cuvée. Laurent-Perrier is established in 1812. As you know by now, they have never worked with any other artist before. And the first artist they ever worked with is none other than Master Yun Longzi. I think we can really have some Laurent-Perrier champagne to actually cleanse the palate and to close the night off. It was really an interesting afternoon in Ju Hua Tai. Such a new place, but oh my god, you really got to visit when you're here. I think you will find the taste most familiar. Just like Master Yun's Fengshui calligraphy, when you look at it, you will find that there are elements that are most familiar to you, but you look at it and you say that, okay, it's not a traditional calligraphy or a traditional painting, and there are things that gives you a bit of distance that will make you ponder a little bit more. And of course, inside this, something that's a bit very special, you might know by now, is that one of the ingredients, other than gold, silver, pine soot ink, it's Laurent-Perrier champagne. And that is something that gives it character as well. When the colors are popped out of the champagne and it flies all over, it will form the background, what we call color splashing, that makes every single piece, even though they might be writing the same words. Here I have with me Yun Zhong Bai He, which is the white crane. It's above the clouds. And you can feel the serenity, the zenness to it. When you have reached a certain level in life, like you're above the clouds, looking at everyone else, and simply a piece of art. Just like the cocktails you have tasted in Ju Hua Tai today, every single one unique. If you miss the seasonal menu, you have to wait for the next one. So if you are in this area, do try to visit every single week to see what kind of specials they have. Cheers. The Art Beyond Museums series and Master Yun Longzi's Feng Shui art are proud to be sponsored by Laurent-Perrier. For 200 over years, Laurent-Perrier has not worked with any other artist before. When you purchase a piece of Feng Shui art exhibited in this Art Beyond Museums series, you will also be getting a complimentary set of 5 different specially selected cuvées of Laurent-Perrier champagne. The La Cuvée, the Cuvée Rosé, Brut Millésimé, Demi-Sec Harmony, and the Cuvée Grand Siècle, so that you can enjoy the taste of elegance while basking in the prosperity of Master Yun's Feng Shui paintings and calligraphies. Cheers to prosperity and elegance.